you'd think I'm ready because I'm sitting here ready to paint, but alas, I don't have any water in my palette. It's like, oh yeah, I cleaned out my palette. Oh yeah, that's a thing. So I gotta checking to see if it cleaned up. I put a lot of soap in it, and I even squeezed some Clorox through it to try to kill whatever mold or whatever might be trying to work its way through. But it's starting to dry up. You can see it's shriveling up into little spongy goodness. It's damp in the middle, but dry on the sides. So let me run over to the bathroom right over here, and get some water in these things, and we can move on. All right. I think I've got this here. Hold on. Gotta update my. Okay, now I think I'm ready. Finally ready to get some stuff going here. So, again, this is a recap. This is Balboo DeVoe getting his look on. Definitely need the highlights. He's kind of bland right now. I mean, the colors aren't bad, but they need some sharpness. They need some edges, some bright spots to start making him look a little less understated. So I can get this pad to stop chopping up my nose. That would be great. Don't know how long that'll last, but we'll see. And yeah, there's one more thing. I do need to put some. I need a paper on my palette. I want to start. I don't think just throwing sponges down on there is going to do the trick. Or I'll paint right onto my sponge. The trick is doing this so that it stops rolling up. Alright, I think I'm about there. I'll add a little bit more water just for comfort. It'll soak all in here because I probably took out too much water to begin with. But I also don't want to have too much on my out here. Now I do the penny thing underneath. I don't know if it helps. They say that if you put pennies underneath your sponge, it'll help prevent like mold and stuff. now. Does it? I don't know. I mean, I've seen what looks like mold, but I don't know. It's not like I'm sniffing it in to check. I've noticed it hasn't stunk as much, but that could have been that other palette I had, which is really weird. I had a different palette that just was not good. Okay, so I don't know how much I can get done here. I do have to work in about an hour and a half and for a few minutes, and then I gotta, after that fun, I have to do some other stuff too. So we'll see. I'll be watching some more TV and stuff later. Who knows? But we will just play it by ear. Okay, so I have. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely have some parts here that I need to put some other highlights on. So let's take. I'm just trying to think of what the highlight opposite is for brown. Would be like a white or a very light tan? Ow. We will go with how about a medium flesh tone? Might be a little. I want it to be whiter. Whiter? All right. Just trying to think of the right highlight for this. Here, let's try that one. That might work. What is that? Tanned skin, sure. Now, sometimes highlights can be applied with airbrushing because it's going to be smoother, right? But I'm afraid my accuracy is not the best, and so that kind of worries me. Or not accuracy, but my ability to control. So I'm going to have to try really careful. I'm going to try this because, well, live and learn, you know. But this is going to be a very, 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 very thin. It's almost going to be like a 3-to-1 application here. So I got airbrush medium here. Because this is I'm just going to go with a lot. I want my medium to be greatly the bulk because this is not an airbrush paint. Which means it's kind of thick. And I want it to be not thick. I'd rather go on almost like a fade. All my brushes, all these paints. Yeah, that's how this goes. All right, see how that sprays, and then we'll see if we can try this thing out. Okay, doesn't look too bad. It's not complaining either, so I must have air in my... Now the question is, can I do this in a small enough spray. You know, I think I'm going to use my I'll call this my airbrush guard here. Protect me from myself. Wait a minute, no, it's just... I think that's it. Mixed a lot of paint for that tiny little highlight, but I don't think anyone else is going to benefit from this color. So I don't really think I have. I mean, that color is basically a tan color. It was just there to kind of give the top of the staff. I'm just trying to give the top of the staff a... Thing is, it just might be too. Sometimes I don't know what I'm looking for. It's like the color I'm looking for needs to be brown, but this is like not very brown. It's tanned skin, but I would have thought it would have been. Interesting. Okay, well, that did go on. I don't know if it gave me quite the highlight I was looking for, but it went on. And it's there, and we're ready to move on to something else. Okay, so what that means is, ready to move on to something else, it just means I got a different color in there. I got to do something else for my highlights. Got other highlights to go. That's probably a lot of work for such a meaningless highlight, but... Such is the way it goes sometimes. All right, well, go on to the next thing. I just wanted to get that staff. I thought maybe get a little brighter on the top. I don't know if that did what I wanted or not. I feel like it's like yay and nay. Sort of, kind of, in a way. I'm not sure. It did do something. I don't know if it did good.
You have any of those ices?
Yeah, go ahead. There should be a couple in there.
The left one. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Let's see. Where was I? Let's go ahead and go with my. Let's go to my metallics. I'm gonna pull out my. I do want to do some more highlighting to really start making him pop a little bit more. But as you can see, I still have to finish his thing here. You know, I'm gonna go try and fix this wing to make it more workable. At the moment, it'll take me a minute. So give me just a few minutes. I'll be right back. It'll just take me a second here. Okay, that was a bit more of an ordeal than I expected, but I did get it kind of spread out. You can see now his wing is considerably wider, and you can see how clear it is inside. And I don't know, that's partly probably because the hot water probably boiled off some of the paint. But at least now I can see it and I can get paint in there, and hopefully it'll stay open. Last time I did this, it eventually just closed itself back up because I never got around to painting it. So what does that mean in the long term here? I don't know, but I do got it. I can't do a ton with it wet, so it'll have to dry here. I was kind of dabbing it dry, but plus I don't know how much it affected my other paint job, other parts that I painted, but we will see what hot water does to recently painted paint. Not like just painted, but recently painted. It is kind of a thing, so. But anyway, let's get some more work done. Let's try. I'm easily distracted from one problem to the next, looks like, so. I do got to finish getting some paint on him. I could go airbrushy and just I think I used a Demon Brown on him, but to be honest, I couldn't tell you what I used on him. I don't know what this color was. It does look like a reddish brown though, huh? Could have been a mix. I'm hoping that wing's going to stay open. I feel like it wants to close again, but we're going to find out. I mean, it's not closing, but I feel like it's not closed or anywhere near closed yet, but it could be on its way, so we'll see how well this plan works. I hate to have to do it again. Thing is, if I have to keep doing it, I'm going to have to stick something in here that forces it to stay open, and then I just take it out. Like put a stick or something in there that just says, nope, you can't close. Maybe it'll have to close eventually, but you can tell it's like, look, it's pushing its way in. I can just sense it. So yeah, it's going to be a problem. I don't know how I can make it stay out. See if I can. I don't know how well this will hold, but it might hold for a little bit. It's not much, but maybe it'll keep the wing from trying to close on me while I'm working on it. I don't know. A little bit of a wing brace. All right, let's go ahead and start working on this chain again. Let's do one thing at a time. Finish one thing at a time, Ken, then you can work your way on to the other stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get my, I have tinny tin, but I don't want tinny tin. I want my scorched metal. Screaming Bell. No, Screaming Bell's probably not it. Screaming Bell might be a good cap though. Because it's nice. It's decently gold, decently bright. I don't want to go too bright, but it might be a good one for the top. The scorched metal is one of my favorite reddish bronze colors. Let's see if I can find it here. There's just plain old bronze. Tin. Oh, is that my scorched metal? I think that is. Yep. Scorched metal. Yeah, that's the one. So scorched metal is just a very red, kind of reddish bronze. Now I do have some other colors that probably are similar now with some of my color shifting paints, but just for straight up reddish metal, this is a good one. The scorch is your clue that it's reddish, I guess. Apparently scorched metal's red. I don't know. if there's any. Now I'm doing such a tiny zone for this. Probably don't need a ton of liquid, but you know, you still got to keep it fairly decently. The other thing I haven't done on this guy is hit it with some flex iron so that I may use my magnet with it. I don't have any 2-inch rounds here. I gotta cut me some more 2-inch rounds, it looks like. I would definitely, now you don't need anything too big. I don't want anything massive, but it'll work good for my purposes. I hope. Because it is gonna be pretty quickly applied here. Oh, what was that? It squirted out a bubble on me. That's lame. Lame-o. Alright, I gotta get a piece of paper towel before that dries. Ugh. Don't need any unnecessary glue on my desktop here. Yuck. Oh, yeah, it's really trying to... Hey, hell. That's gonna clean off. Good thing I had a sheet of... a sheet of glue on there. It's sticking to me. Stop. Quick, let's get this on this guy before he becomes a problem. Yeah, this is a pain in the tushkas. Right, so I gotta figure out how to pin this down without pinning me to it. Let's try that. It obviously got a little extra glue on there. Yikes, man. My own fingers are sticking together. Alright, think I got it. Hopefully. Hopefully it's not going to glue to my hand or to my magnet or to anything I don't want it to. Alright, that was a little disastrous, but it got through it. Like my fingers covered in glue. That's nice. I'll be peeling that off my hand for a few days. Luckily my palette had spray paint on it, so when I peeled the glue up, it just came right off because it just brought all the airbrush painting off of it. Pretty top heavy though, that's for sure. But it helps, it allows me to hold it. Oh, look at it, it's bordering on too heavy for my magnet. Holy cow, I've never had that. This is a big heavy dude. He's like, yeah, I'm not staying on there. Huh. I do have one other possible option, but I don't know. This guy's so heavy, I don't even know if a big grip's gonna hold it. But I do have one other option. trying to figure out a way to hold them a little bit more securely than my holding just the base, because the base is really thin. It's a thin, so I don't know if this is going to work or not. So we'll try this. So my magnet plan might not work. This guy's just a little too heavy for my magnet. I mean, if it was a bigger, wider magnet, maybe, but nope. We're going to have to try monster big here. Okay, so there's this thing. How do you think that's going to hold? Now, I'm not going to be upside down all that often, but I feel like... I don't know. What do you think? That's a big dude. I don't know if it's going to hold. Guess we'll find out the hard way if it doesn't. Okay, so let's get my brush here. So my goal here is I got to do some, I'm going to be painting the chain up. My scorched metal here. Let's see if I can do this. Oh yeah, shoot, there's one other thing. And this guy's really top heavy too. He might not even stand up. I might have to put him down on his back. I don't know. We'll see. This guy. I do need to put a coat of my Wasteland Brown on his chain and everywhere, all the places I touched up earlier. Because this stuff is my go-to color for that. Alright. Which means bringing in this guy for a moment. This is just to make sure that all my brown areas are the same color before I start trying to paint the chain that surrounds it. Because I don't want to be messing with this while the chain is. Plus being a wash, I'm hoping it's going to get in here and save me from having to, anything I miss. Basically repainting the chain all over again because it's just, it can't not. But I'm making sure that I made sure everywhere that I wanted painted got paint so that I won't have to do this ever again. If I'd have done it right the first time, like done this part first instead of trying to paint the chain first, I would not have to be doing this. So this is my punishment for not doing the lower parts first. The lower, deeper parts should always be done first because anything that's on the surface has a better chance of being painted without the need for repaints, right? I do have to go over a lot of this guy again. Like this whole area here is probably not even painted right. I don't think I ever actually got his scarf all redone. I just went over it with a lighter color to allow this to have a fighting chance. because it was the wrong color, so it was never gonna come back into a similar color without being Oops, I'm doing the thing that's gonna test this thing's ability to hold. Hopefully, as long as I don't whack it, put undue extra pressure on it, it'll be fine. It is nice being able to get back here without having to mess with that wing being in the way, though, that's for sure. The wing is staying nicely out of my way. Hopefully it'll keep doing so while I'm finishing this. My little brace, keeping it from remolding back to its old way. Trust me, I think it wants to mold back. It's going to put pressure, probably getting tighter and tighter on that as time goes on here. Gotta be careful, this thing's so top heavy. I'm like, I gotta hold on really tight onto my little gripper thing here. This will spare me the... Yeah, it's not too bad, but I do need another drop of that. So I could darken up the middle tunic. I'm really tempted to do something else with those little crown things, or M things, or W's, whatever they are, on his belt. I don't know, it's just me, it just looks weird. Still kind of, it's still pretty light, dark. I mean, it's not as dark as it was, but once I put some highlights, maybe it'll draw it out. I'll have to put some really bright highlights. I don't know what bright highlights work, because what bright ideas do I have? I don't know. We'll see. But we will definitely have to do some stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and start working on my chain a little bit here. But I did kind of cover it up just now with stuff. We'll see how that works. Now this is, oh, I don't even want to use this one. Oops. Never mind. Let's use a smaller brush. One that requires a little more precision. One that allows a little more precision. And hopefully covered in dog hair. My dogs don't, they sit on the couch, even though we keep trying to teach them not to, but we're not so good at it anymore. My wife's even taken to finding a dog blanket that goes on the couch. And then my dogs just sit where the dog blanket doesn't reach or it's not covering. They go, oh, well, that thing's in the way. I think I'll just go sit over here. And we're like, no, you're not even supposed to be on the couch. You're lucky we're here. Start sitting where we... Told you that wasn't gonna work. All right, let's put this brace back in there. It's actually good. The brace does seem to be working. I mean, it's not like tight or anything. All right, so this doesn't work. I'm just gonna have to go with the good old-fashioned hold it with my hand plan, because yeah, if I keep doing it that way, I'm gonna have myself some bad mojo. Got off easy there. Didn't fall into paint, but that's something I don't want to keep dealing with. So it's time to get this puppy. I'll keep going down, painting every link along the chain. It's always a little tedious, but oh well. Such is the way of painting minis, you know? When you want to paint a cool mini with lots of details, you sometimes have to torture yourself with some of those details. You just gotta keep telling yourself this is Zen. This is, I paint because it's soothing, it's calming, it's fun. It is kind of fun, really, but some people do some amazing stuff, and I think they're, you know, the ones who really do the really impressive painting, they're the ones with the real patience, because they're doing stuff that's like they paint every scale with 3 colors on a giant dragon. I'm like, oh my gosh. He said, yeah, this took me like 3 months. I'm like, 3 months of painting what, every day? Holy cow. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am impressed by those people, but I don't think I could do it. Well, for one, I don't have solid time to paint. So it's like for me, it's a matter of, you know, continuing to find time, and things that would take me months to do, I would just never, I would have to keep switching, so it would take me even more months, because I'd have to keep doing other things. I have other things that need to be painted, like for a game or something that's just kind of come up as a higher priority. So I'm thinking about doing some commissions. What do you think, huh? Should I do a commission? Is there anybody out there who think that my paint work is good enough to do a commission? Would you, if you were one to buy, not everybody is, so even people who like, you know, like work, and they're not always going to pay for other people to paint them a commission. But what's a good deal? I mean, really, for me, it wouldn't be just about the commission work, right? It's not just about that. It's about trying to get my Kickstarter going. So it's almost like a support my stream / commission. So it'd be more. I'm sorry, it'd have to be more. Plus the time it takes. I don't have I can't do a bunch. So, but I would paint, of course, whatever I did, I painted on stream. And maybe based on how much the person who commissioned it wants to pay, I would, you know, do different kind of different things. But you can only do so much, right? I'm not big on doing reworks, right? Oh, yeah, it's not quite right. Can you repaint it in this color? I'm like, no. But what I will do is tweak and edit if it's really, that's the thing we need to do. But I'm not a. It would line up, do like a theme. What kind of colors? Is there like an accent color you want? Is there a theme you'd want? Do you want him to be a dark color guy? Do you like, what's your favorite color? What kind of color do you see? Do you want him dark? Do you want him light? I would do it if somebody was interested. Just because it would be a cool challenge. I like doing stuff like that. Now, of course, they'd have to pay for the mini, which would be part of the. Should probably be part of the commission. Like, obviously if you have to order it, it takes time to get it. If it's an available mini, I can go buy it, but as long as, that's all part of it. Then I pin it on. I don't know how long it would take me though, depending on the figure. Now I don't know that I'd do a mini this big. I mean, I guess I could, but it would definitely be. I mean, you gotta guess that even though my hours showing on my thing here is. We're talking 10 to 15 hours for me to paint a mini. If you want it painted, really good. Or depending on the mini. Some minis are simple. Like if you just want something like a dog or a wolf or something simple, a bear. Things without a lot of detail or a lot of, not even detail, bits and bobs all over them. If they don't have that, I can probably cruise through it a little faster, obviously. I mean, like this guy. I mean, he only took me a few hours. He's mostly done. I mean, I'm gonna put some highlights on him, but he's probably grand total time of, I don't know, 3 hours. But still, even for me, that's a long time. Somebody else will probably whip that guy up in an hour. I mean, there's just people, it's like they look at that and go, okay, I can get that done in no time. Now, I've seen people who do, they do like Fiverr, and they'll do like a 1 hour paint job. I can't even promise I can do a 1 hour paint job. Even if I sped through and just was quick, slop down a base, and I mean, I can get it based in that time, but that's not going to look cool. Now, I don't do freehand. Sorry, I'm not good enough for freehand. If I felt like I could give something a go, I can do minor freehand, but shape, some stars, small stuff, little designs. If you're looking for something big and fancy, yeah, that's not me, man. You can't do freehand. I've seen amazing freehand. I've seen people draw works of art on a mini shield, and I'm like, well, you're in another zone. There's superhuman painters who can do crazy amounts of stuff. I'm like, yeah, nice, good work. Just don't talk to me. Get out of my face. I don't want to hear it. Then they posted on Miniature Painting Noobs. Oh yeah, look what I painted for my first mini ever. I'm like, you big fat hairy liar. that's as much your first mini as I'm only 5 years old. And then they say, "Oh, can you tell me what I'm doing wrong?" Yeah, you're posting a miniature painting noob, you jerk. I don't like I say on the site people that comes in big debate. People posting these really good paint jobs, and then I'm miniature painting noob. Some people get mad, and I'm like, look, I don't care if you post it. Just don't try to pass it off as being as though you're a new person. I mean, sometimes it's good. It's good to see a nice work. I like seeing good work. But if you've been painting for 10 years off and on, and this is like your 100th mini, and it may not be a ton of minis because some people have done thousands. Um, Great, let's say that. This is about my 30th mini or my 100th mini, and whatever. This is what I've been doing this for a while. I haven't even hit 100 minis yet. I don't think I've painted 100 minis yet. I've probably come close. I'd probably have to really count to get a feel. I painted at least one as a gift, but overall, I've painted not very many. I've maybe done 70 or 80 minis. Like I said, I'd have to look, but and that's look like I'd have to go see what's in my containers, consider the few that I've probably, and could I figure out which ones? Some of them I have some minis around here that my kids painted. Not very many, but like my daughter, she paints actually. She doesn't. She painted a few minis, and pretty much right out the gate, she was good. She was one of those people. And considering she was only what, I don't know, 15, 14 when she painted her first mini. And I'm like, jeez. Yeah, I don't know if she was definitely better than me at the go. Okay. I don't know if she was as good as I am, but I'm not that good, so it's possible. It was actually some pretty impressive work for a 14-year-old who had never painted before. So I do believe there are people who can come right out the gate and just be good. Because they just have a natural artistic talent. And such is the way of life. There are things that some people can just do just because. I think everybody's got something that they're just naturally good at. Not everybody has found it, or some people never do. I don't know. But there are people out there who can do some pretty amazing things right out the gate. So it's not that it's not possible. Just don't try to claim that you're not what you aren't. I don't know how good I expect people who have never painted to actually be. It's just weird when they say that they're the first, and you're like, Rembrandt wouldn't have been able to call that his first. Like, oh. But some people maybe they just have a gift for colors. And then there's people who are just like, this is my first mini. And then somewhere along the conversation, you find out that they've been painting paints or painting, actual like portraits and other types of painting things for 10 years. This is just the first time they picked up a mini and painted, or they were for a long time painting, I don't know, needleheads or something, where they're so used to working with tiny stuff, and they just said, you know what, I'm gonna try painting a gaming model. And you're like, oh well, you're not really a noob if you've been painting stuff like that for a long time. Just because this is your first game model, you're kind of cheating. It's like as as a programmer, if I programmed a game I had never worked on in my life, and I just say, "Hey, this is my first ever programming gig," um, when in fact it's really my first ever programming gig, programming a game. It's like, okay, it might be good. It might be a good job, but it's like it wasn't my first because I did already know how to do that. Just hadn't done it in that context. Kind of a lie, right? A lie of omission, they might call it. Keep zipping around this guy, trying to make sure I'm completely covering up the chain, because there is a lot of it going up and down. I think I already got his body, but I'll check that one in a minute. It's kind of an interesting thing. This chain doesn't look... Oh, there's the other link. I was going to say it doesn't have a link on this spot. But it does. It's just way... I have to say it's off center. Oops. Don't want to get the wrong page. Start going, hey, why is this coming out brown? Keep hitting this thing, going around and go, oh, look, there's another one I missed. Every time I go around, I'm like, oh, I didn't paint that one at all. How'd I do that? All right, well, I think I've got the whole chain covered with the proper color now in the places that the proper color is supposed to be. I feel like I went all the way around correctly. Now, we were supposed to have game night tonight. This was supposed to be one of our game night weeks over at our Maltby church. But a buddy of mine who runs it was kind of sick, and I don't think there was that much interest anyway, so nobody redirected it. I couldn't go because I have to work, and other people just didn't ever answer, I don't think. Yeah. Just trying to make sure I get all of the chain. Then I have to go over it again with a lighter color, like a gold or something, to make it pop a little more. But I won't even try to cover the whole thing. I'll just probably do like, not a dry brush, but kind of an over-the-top brush. We'll see how that works to make it pop a little more, make it shine. Maybe not even on all the links, just on some of them. All the links that are sideways or something, ones that stand out. All right, I need a drink. Time to get a drink so I'm not like, coughing to death. Whew, gotta stay hydrated, man. Gotta stay hydrated. Alright, how we doing with the chains that go over his back? They don't look too bad, really. A few spots, maybe. Most of them look pretty painted, which is good. Oh yeah, the waist area that I really couldn't see for most of the... I got that wing out of the way. To be honest, even with the wing out of the way, it's still kind of challenging to get in here. Well, much less challenging than it was. At least I can get in here. Because it was all but impossible for a while there. In fact, you couldn't even see. Like before I couldn't even tell there was area that I hadn't covered. Now it's very obvious there's area I missed. Also a lot of area that doesn't even have a skin tone on it because apparently the airbrush couldn't even get in here. Ah! My brace fell out. Again, it was because I knocked it out, not because it popped out. Which I was afraid it was going to do. It was going to pop out, I thought, at one point, because it was just going to be too much pressure from the wing trying to get back to its old spot. And it's holding right now. I say that with a hint of wonder. How is it doing that? What I didn't do is going to flip him over like this and hit the chain links from the underside. And there's actually quite a few here. I didn't realize I didn't get the underside. Sometimes just flipping a guy over can expose a lot of stuff you didn't realize you missed. Kind of makes it look like a brown on top of the chain. Makes some of the chain look rusty now. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I mean, it probably doesn't make it too bad, but I'm like going for the rusty look, but it probably could have. But rusty chain is not about... Boss guys don't have rusty chain. Unless he's a rust monster. But, usually the minions get all the rusty crap. Right? I mean, they're the ones that report to the big boss. He's got all the good, shiny, clean chain. Of course, I guess if he's lived forever, but why wouldn't he just get new chain? Unless he's a big boss guy that's mindless and doesn't care. But big bosses like to show their big bossness, which is to say they want to use clean chain. They got to show that they're not no minion. Their chains are good. Their minions use the old chains that he throws off and casts off. I went to go see Kong versus Godzilla last night. That was a pretty good show. My wife said she liked it a lot more than Godzilla -1, and I don't know. I thought it was good, very action packed, but Godzilla -1 just seemed more. I don't know. I mean, more story-ish. It wasn't as less actiony, but I thought the story was good. I mean, I just liked the way they put it together. Did I like it better? I don't know. It was different. I probably have to say I liked -1 better. I don't know. Something about it. Maybe I liked the monster better. Maybe I just liked the story better. A little less cheese, a little less lighthearted, but it was good. And sometimes like I said, I'm a DC fan over a Marvel fan as far as the movies go, right? I mean, do I think they were the best movies? Maybe not, but they were the approach to them I liked better. So I think their movies were very good. I actually liked to me the DC movies felt like, I don't know, like an actual, like you might actually expect heroes to be. I don't know if they were real. I mean, it was darker, yes, but I don't know, it just felt more, I don't know, more possible, more like you'd expect in the real world. All right, I think besides the wings, which I have been neglecting, I'm about done with all the other stuff, base stuff. And I just like scorched metal as a color. Reddish bronze, whatever. Sometimes I actually add red to those colors to get them more red. Just the reddish, I don't know, it makes it seem more unusual. More, I don't know, more something. My wife's watching a story about June Carter Cash on TV right now. And I can hear the music play, and I'm like, I know she was talented and popular and all that, but they keep playing the same song that she and Johnny Cash sang. Was it "We're going to Jackson Town," whatever it is? I don't know, something like that. But I just say, don't they? I mean, how come I don't ever hear other music? Because does she not sing any other songs with them, or just sing other songs by herself? Somebody they keep talking about on there, like she was super multi-talented, but is that the only song anybody knows of hers? And there's probably other stuff going on. Maybe they have similar sounds or whatever. I don't know. I just feel like that's the song. Like, it sounds like down here. It's the song they keep playing. I think that spray plan of mine didn't work very well. Just kind of makes the top of his thing look, I don't know, washed out. I may have to go back and hit it with another coat of coloring. This guy is not going to have a lot of silvery stuff or even gold. I'm going with this bronze all around, and then I'll just highlight. With the exception of the axe itself, has some gold, silver in it. Alright, well, I'm running out of things for the chain, I think. I'm trying to get all the little spiky bits. All the spikes are going to be done with the same stuff, so I'm going over all of them. This guy's got a lot of spikes, too. He is spiked up, man. Could just as easily have called him Spike, because he has a lot of spikes. Got spikes on his wrists, on his shoulders, on his staff, on his shoes. You don't want anybody like attacking anything and not being hit by his spikes. I'm not sure, why would you need spikes on your shoes? I mean, really? Well, I guess his feet are big enough they're never going to hit each other, but it seems risky, right? I mean, aren't you in as much danger from the spikes on your equipment as those you might be attacking? I mean, how often are you going to hit somebody with your arm? I mean, you might hit them with your arm. Don't get me wrong. You can do one of those right up against the face, and then, you know, said adventurer's got spikes protruding out of the back of his head because they're so big, but still, it seems who's writing? Hitting all these spikes, man, from all the angles is really hard because there's like, it's real easy to go, oops, so many of them. And I flip it over and I'm like, oh, they're all unpainted. they're all painted from one angle only. And then I flip it over a little bit. It's like, oh, they're not painted from that angle either. And this is just one arm. This other arm's got him too. I should get up and go run tomorrow if the weather's nice. Maybe go run 10 miles or something big. I haven't done a nice big run in a while. But I also have to get to church, and we have to get to church really early, which means I'd have to go really early or come back and run afterwards. I don't really like running after church just because I feel like that's when I'm supposed to be doing other stuff. And then we're going to go to my folks and do the Easter thing there. Keep rotating around and around and around we go. Hoping to eventually have every angle covered on this thing, but every time I go around I see more. As we go back the other way, my perception changes. I see more white, or not white, primer, gray, or the base coat that was underneath that got on there. Barely see this one. Just keep on keeping on here. This is a long, tedious task. It's just getting these spikes, man. And hitting them from all the angles. It's too easy to miss. You try to go around and pull the brush back and forth so that it hits behind just in case you missed on the other side. But yeah. then you note that you didn't even go down far enough, which means you still, even though you painted it, you didn't hit it to the bottom, so you got like yellow crawling up the spike or whatever other color is under there. But I think I finally might actually have it covered. So our D&D group is on a hiatus. Everybody's going on vacation. We got people gone this week, and then other people gone next week, and then people gone the next week. All 4 members of the party are gone in different weeks. Well, 3 of them, well, 2 of them, my son and daughter-in-law, are going to Disneyland in 2 weeks, and the other 2 members of the campaign are gone this week and next week separately. And there's only 4, so, you really can't, you really don't want to go without them. Going with only 3 is a pretty light group. But this is a pretty reliable group. I mean, we've been going for a couple of years now. So, we got room for life away from D&D, I guess. But having any campaign last for 2 years is a pretty good deal. So, had 3 special edition Christmas ones. Well, holiday. I did one for Thanksgiving, one for Halloween, and one for Christmas, really. Each year I did a different one. And I think this tire ring right here over his head isn't done. Actually, no, one of them, the first one I did wasn't even really any holiday. It was a pack rat. It was just at holiday time. It was a special edition, which basically during the holidays I give them. I have been giving them. I don't know if I will keep doing it because I'm running out of ideas of what to do. But, it's not even what to do, what to give. It's easy to come up with a scenario. I just coming up with something cool D&D related item that's not too expensive because, buying a bunch of people, friends, yes, but, only 2 of them are family. And I already get them gifts during, the holidays, so this is an extra thing. Only for those participating in the D&D campaign. Now, my other son was playing for a while, but I don't know, I guess he lost interest. Video games and Pokemon. He plays Pokemon. He goes to tournaments and stuff. I won't say professionally. I mean, he has won money a couple of times, but it's not like he's raking in anything. He just wins on occasion. All right, what horns do not have bronzing on them? What time is it? Oh, it's 6 o'clock. In about 15 minutes, I think I'm going to be having to work. Yep, my session may be coming to an end. And I haven't even done the other arm. I still got a whole nother arm over here. Yeah, look at all those spikes not done. Some of them aren't even close to done. It's like their neighboring parts aren't even done. This is one of those that was completely under the wing and I could not even reach it. But now it's accessible because the wing is gone. It's kind of a weird one though, really, because it's some of these aren't even like coming out of his. I don't know where they're coming out of. Like the. It's like he's got these two horn things, but it's like, did those grow over his bracers? Because his bracers appear to be underneath. Oh, those horn things coming out of his arms. And why are there horn things coming out of his arms? That's my next question. It's like, that's kind of weird. What kind of devilish defect has horns growing out of his arms? That entire arm is like totally unpainted. Look at that. You can see this. That's because the wing was so close. I apparently didn't even notice how bad it was. I mean, I knew there was parts of it that I had missed, but I didn't know how much. And this is pretty significant. I couldn't tell the wing was just covering up so much. And like, look, he's got this arm thing that goes around his shoulder. And it's 100% unpainted. Enough that I almost just need to slap paint on it. Still not fully exposed, it's just fully visible. I think I'm getting texts. I bet you those are from work too. I'm just not looking quick enough to notice. And I still have to go in. So I was watching a movie. What was it? It was one with what's her face? Jerry? No, something Louise Dreyfus, whatever her name is. Jenna Louise Dreyfus. I don't remember her first name. But she it was a movie with her in it. She wasn't playing, because she's in that Veep, which I really did not like Veep. I don't know. I think she's kind of got forced humor. I don't feel like she's all that funny. She was okay as Elaine or whatever on Seinfeld, but I just feel like and Veep was popular. I mean, it lasted a long time, so don't get me wrong, I'm probably a minority, but I just don't like that kind of humor. She was very crude, and it just wasn't my thing. But there's a lot of people who like that, though, so don't get me wrong. I just didn't like her, and I thought she was better in this movie, even though it was she was playing a normal person, just a generally the kind of person, it was basically a rom-com, kind of. I don't even know, was there a calm aspect to it? I don't know. It's still a chick flick kind of thing. It was pretty good. Yes, I know. I said chick flick, and I said it was good. I know. It was all right. I mean, it had what's his face from Saving Christmas. If you've ever seen Saving Christmas, that's the one with Ben Affleck. It's actually pretty good. I like it. I know some people don't like it. They think it's not good, but whatever. But it had the dad from that show on it. And I thought he was playing a very similar character. A little funnier, a little nicer, a little less grumpy, I guess. But he played a very similar type of character. I mean, as far as his personality goes. But you know, I think it's just his acting. It's just he's got this, you know, that kind of matter of fact kind of character type portrayal. All right, let's see here. Really hard to get some of these parts. And as I do, I'm trying to go underneath, and I'm feeling a little rushed now because it's 6:04, and the guy said he'd probably need me around 6:15, which is getting really close. He might even say now, depending on how fast they are. They may have just started because they had a window. You know, they're all just talking now, and I just happen to be on the channel because, you know, keeping me posted. I don't know. But I gotta go check it out. I think I've almost got all the parts that are supposed to be painted this color covered. I think. Another spike here. Even now, there's a spike I can barely reach. There's this whole part of this band here that's not done. That show she's watching is pretty long. The one about June Carter Cash. All right, well, at least for now, I think I've got a good enough coating on. To call it for now, and we'll see where that goes. I do gotta log on to work and see what's going on, do my little preliminary test. Now this test I have to do, or work I have to do, is going to take like 2 minutes. Go on there, does it work? Nope, don't work, go fix it. I hope that's them, go fix it. If it's me, go fix it, I'm like, what am I going to do with it? I'm not the one that broke it. I don't know. But I hope that's them. Anyway, so he's coming together slowly but surely, has all of his color almost. And then I still have to do all the highlights. All I've done is I'm still just getting him fully covered. I got to get this whole arm fixed and his wing fully painted, and then I can do highlights. Yay, me! But for now, I got to hit the pause button. And let's do a photo shot of where we're at so far. We'll turn. Let's get my light around here so I can get some ready for validation. Oh, okay. Guess that's them calling on me, so it's time for me to get on there. All right, troops. That's it for me for now. I gotta take a break. Until later, you take it easy. Bye.